Good afternoon, children. Today we'll be talking about a sensitive issue regarding loss of something or someone in our lives. At some point in our lives, we have lost something, some toy, some favorite toy that we had during our childhood, some favorite bicycle that we had, some favorite pencil, some favorite pen, a friend. And when we grow up, there are some people who who have lost their jobs, who have lost home, and who had incurred some loss in their life. So today's poem it will be towards this sensitive issue of loss. So this poem, that is the Ball poem by John Berryman, is in class 10th NCERT, and today we'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about what this poem says, what will be the themes of the poem, and then we'll be talking about what will be the figures or speech that are used in this particular poem. So when we're talking about loss, so just have a flashback and recall what all things, what all possessions which you had, which you have lost over a period of time. So as you know, you are in class 10th now, so you must have something. That it may be a ball, it may be a favorite toy, it may be a cycle, anything, or it may be a friend even, which or whom you have lost during this period of time. And how did you feel? That is the question. How did you feel? Obviously, you felt sad, your mood was not good, you felt irritated, you felt cheated, right? But then again, how did you cope up? So, that is the mark of a human, that no matter how the circumstances are, we always move on, and we have to move on. So, we don't have any other option. So, this poem starts with a very somber and very sad mood, but in the end, it gives a ray of sunshine. It gives a silver lining that yes, there is some hope, and that man and people can move on from their loss. So let's start with the poem right now. So this is the Ball poem by John Berryman. As you can see, the ball is with the boy, and this particular ball holds a particular significance. It is very, very special to this boy who is somewhere around 12. So it's that the boy is around 11 or to 12 years of age. And just to tell you the imagery of this poem, the poem has imagery in it. Now what is imagery? We will be talking more about it. In this poem, a boy is playing near the harbor. Harbor, matlab, the port area where the ships dock. So near the harbor, the boy is playing in the street, and when he is bouncing the ball from the ball bounces and goes over the fence into the sea. And now the boy rushes towards the fence. He sees that the ball is now in the water. And what will happen now? How will the boy feel? He will be able to get it back? No, not possible for a small boy of such a tender age to go and jump into the sea and save the ball for himself. So he just stands over there, just shocked at what had happened. So he had lost the ball, and he has lost, and along with that, the metaphor is there that he has lost. The metaphor that poet is using is that he has also lost his childhood, his innocence. So this is the first instance, this is the first incidence in the life of that particular child where he has lost something of such great significance or importance. Now when the ball is lost, the child is standing there shocked and in grief. His mood is not good. Okay, so let's start with the poem. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go. So now the boy is just seeing. He's standing by the fence of the seashore, and he's seeing the ball go drift away along with the ocean currents. Merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over, there it is in the water. Now the ball is there in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. Now, anybody, you and I can say, okay, he will get you another ball. You must have seen. आपका कुछ छोटा खिलौना आप जब छोटे थे, you must have broken some favorite toy, and if you cried over it, obviously you cried over it. So at some point of time, your parents must have said, "Beta, will get you another one." But you wanted that particular one. So because that was special to you, right? So an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his balls went. I would rather not intrude on him. So now the persona or the poet is just standing seeing all this scene. He's standing there seeing the boy play with his ball. He's standing there watching the ball go down over and into the ocean, and then he sees the boy fixed his eyes towards that ball which is drifting into the sea current. Now the persona or the poet is saying that I would not intrude on him. I would not say to him, I will not go and say to that boy, okay, it is fine, I'll get you another ball. You will have many other balls, because he knows that yes, the ball was special and the boy had good memories, some very brilliant memories with that particular ball. So that ball was particularly special. So no other ball can replace those memories and that special relationship that the boy had with that particular ball. A dime, another ball, is worthless. A dime means a piece of currency, small currency coin. It's worthless. Now he senses his first responsibility. This is very important line. He senses his first responsibility. Now when the boy has lost the ball and he is not able to get it back, so he senses his first responsibility. He senses that yes, there is a loss that can happen to him. Till now, the boy was being provided for by his parents. The boy was cared for in his school. The boy also felt happy when he was with his friends. So he was living in a very safe and secure and a fulfilled environment. But this is the first instance, this is the first incident where something special has gone out of his reach. He has lost something. So now he senses his first responsibility. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. Now this is the persona talking to that particular boy. But just notice over here, the boy is not listening. The poet or the person is talking to himself as if he was counseling the boy or he was consoling the boy for his grief. But there is no direct conversation between the boy and the persona. The boy is standing over there at a distance watching the ball go, and the person is standing a bit far just observing the whole scene and talking to himself, just consoling the boy in his heart. This particular figure of speech is called this particular is called apostrophe. This apostrophe says that when there is a indirect conversation happening between two people in any part of a poem. So in a world full of possessions, people will take balls. Now the persona of the poet is saying that in this world, the world is becoming materialistic. People will always run towards materialism and possessions. So people will take balls. There will be many balls. So balls here is a metaphor of something, of some worldly possession, X, Y, and Z, whatever. It may be a car, it may be depending upon the age. So people will take balls and balls will always be lost. So there will be, people will build something, people will build a house, there will be some calamity, it will all be lost. They will rebuild it again, and then they will start over. That is what the poet or the persona is saying. So now he is trying to console. So he is trying to console him in his own way. So he is just letting the boy know that this is the sad reality of the world, that we build something, we lose it, then we have to start over. So you have to try again and again. So these two particular lines, they depict apostrophe, which is a new figure of speech that we have learned today. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external, and no one buys that particular ball back. So he can say that people can buy that particular ball. Suppose you have a special toy. So suppose you have a special friend. Now let's get back to relationships now. Let's replace the boy let's replace the ball with a person. Let's replace the possession with a person. So you have a friend. So you have good time with your friend. You have good memories. You have a good relationship with your friend. He would like you to help you out. He would give you good counsel. He was a very good friend. He helped you out in your homework. He helped you out roam about. So, and once you lose that friend due to some or the other reason, then that you may have other friends, but nobody can replace that particular friend or the memories you had with him or her. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. Now the boy in that moment is learning behind his desperate eyes. Despite the boy with all his heart wanting that ball to come back to him somehow, or somebody he would like to jump into the ocean and get the ball back for him. He would thank him so much. But then again, he knows that he has lost the ball once and for all, and he is learning. What is he learning? That yes, things and persons will be lost in his life. This is his first lesson of adulthood. The epistemology of loss. Episteme means the knowledge. So the knowledge of loss, how to stand up. Knowledge, knowing what every man must one day know, and must know how many days how to stand up. This is a very, very beautiful and important line, that despite the loss that has occurred to some person or of something, then we must know how to stand up. You must have heard about this particular phrase, that that if a person is failing, the failing is not that you fail, that you have failed in something. The only real failing is there when only you have gave up trying. So when you give up trying something, that means that at that instant you know that you have literally failed. So this is the whole poem. Now let's discuss something about the elements of this particular poem. First of all, as I have told you, imagery is there. As I describe this whole poem, I have described the whole scene in front of you. There is a street, there is a road, there is a fence, there is a harbor, and then there is the sea or the ocean, right? So this is the imagery. The poet or the person is getting you a mental picture there in your head. That is called imagery. Imagery can be used in a novel. It can be used in a prose, or it can be used in a poem, that is verse. So imagery is the use of words with which you develop a mental picture in the mind of the reader. This is the same technique you have to use in your story writing when we are dealing with section B in the board exams, right? And the story comes for 10 marks. So mind it, imagery is very, very important. You have to describe all the details. Then coming to alliteration, as we already talked about in the Dust of Snow, in the previous poem, in my previous lesson online, I have already told you about alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the first letters of consecutive or in the words in the same line. So let's figure out. This is a task for you. Just figure out. All these NCERT books and the lessons are available online, so you can go and download it as a PDF. So just look for it. You will get these lessons online. You get the poem online, and then you try to decode. You try to ascertain as to where alliteration is being used. So I already dealt with the concept of alliteration. So again, alliteration you have to figure it out yourself. This is very, very simple. Then metaphor. Metaphor means a figure of speech where there is direct transfer of quality, which when we are comparing two things and we are transferring the quality of one thing to another. Like in this case, the ball signifies something or someone. So now here, when we are talking about the loss of ball, it may be the loss of something very valuable, very, very precious to you, or it can be someone in your life. It can be a loved one, it can be a family member, so it can be, or even a friend, it can be something or someone or anyone. Then assonance, we have already dealt with assonance. Assonance is the repetition of, A, E, I, U, as I told you. Assonance, A for assonance and A, E, I, U, the vowels. So when there is repetition of, or there is a stress in the vowels, letters in the A, E, that is A, E, I, O, U, in a particular line, that is called assonance. Then this again we have dealt in the last poem. So again I would like you to try it out. Then repetition. So this is a new one. Repetition differs from alliteration. So alliteration was Anupras Alankar in Hindi, as we have dealt yesterday in the other lesson. And then repetition is when the exact word is repeated again. So as you can see over here, balls. So in this particular same line, the two words are coming consecutive to each other. It is very, very necessary that these two words come again and again. Like in if we have read that particular poem, The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner by S.T. Coleridge, water everywhere, nor a drop to drink, right? So that was the line. So water, that was again repetition. Here in this poem we have balls. Now coming to you will learn a new figure of speech today, that is ascended on. Now ascended on is a figure of speech where the poet omits out or he eliminates the use of conjunction in a particular line. This is the line where the conjunction has been omitted out. A dime, another ball, it's worthless. So a dime, another ball, and it's worthless, or it could have been anything, right? The poet could have used some conjunction in these particular set of words, but he has chosen to omit it out. So this is assembly tone. Then enjambment. This is another new figure of speech for you. Enjambment is when the poet is dealing with one line, he breaks that line and starts with this. When he breaks that particular line and he brings those words into the next line. Just look at over here. Merrily bouncing down the street, and then this is one line, and then he does what? He again starts and then merrily over. So this should have been one line. Merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. This could have been one line, but the poet chose to break this line and use the last words as the starting of the next line. Again, I will repeat myself. When the poet breaks the last words or last set of words of the last word of a particular line and uses that or those words in the starting of the next immediate line, this is called enjambment. Then again, enjambment we have over here. Now, so now could have been used over here also. So now he senses his first responsibility. So he has broken the first word and then he is using the next line as it is. Then over here also, in a world of possessions, people will take. So in a world full of possessions was one line, people will take balls, and balls will be lost always, little boy. So this is again where he has broken the line into two parts. The last part of the line is broken up and it is being added into the next line. This is called enjambment. So we have dealt with some new figures of speeches today. Then one more very important figure of speech that we will be going to deal tomorrow is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is just like synecdoche, but synecdoche and transferred epithet are very distinctive in their nature and their use. So transferred epithet is where you see transferred epithet is used in this particular set of words, which is desperate eyes. So when the set of word describe or when something is used to describe the overall meaning and the feeling of something. So desperate eyes. So can we say just his eyes were desperate? No. Desperate eyes means when he was feeling uneasy, when he was feeling that somebody could jump and get it back. If he could also jump in the ocean and get it back, but he knows his limits. So desperate eyes signify that it is not just the eyes, but the overall feeling that the boy is having at that particular moment, mixed with grief, mixed with the sense of loss. So this is transferred epithet, when we are transferring one object to signify the whole or a different concept. Now coming to the themes of this particular poem, as we can see, the poem is a bit on a sad side. It is quite somber. But then again, when we are talking about the themes in the poem, the first theme in the poem is the sense of loss. So the sense of loss can be for something which you hold very dear. It may be, we have already discussed, it may be a friend, it may be a possession that you have, it may be a toy, it may be a pen, it may be anything, it may be a favorite, any favorite thing that you hold dear. It may be even a job for some people. As you can see, it is it is a very difficult time nowadays, so it can be a job even. It can be a loss of home, people who are displaced during floods. So that is again a loss of home. Then again, the second theme in this particular poem is the loss of childhood and innocence. So the loss of childhood and innocence is the metaphorical meaning of this particular ball poem. So the loss of the ball signifies the loss of the childhood and the innocence of that particular child. As you can see in the particular lines where if you read the poem, you will see that in the lines it has been explained that when the ball goes over into the sea, the boy has lost his childhood also. The first responsibility that we talked about is talking about that particular thing. So the loss is equal to, it signifies the adulthood that is on the onset in the in the boy. So now the boy will have some things to think about. So he was living a happy life, and then he had this loss. So now he had to think what to do now, what to do next, and how to cope up with this grief. So we are talking about coping up with emotions. We were talking about the life skills also. So this is one of the life skills that he had to develop now. Then again, then loss of someone or death. So when the boy, as a boy or as an adult, you have somebody in your family, or you have someone very close and near and dear to you. So that sense or the sense of loss or the theme of death is also reflected in this particular poem. But one positive thing that comes out of this particular poem is it is ending on a quite positive note, and the poet is saying that yes, no matter you have lost that particular ball, the ball will not come back to you. But then again, knowing every man must one day know, that every man should know that they have to stand up for how many days and how to stand up. So how the coping mechanism needs to be developed, and this will happen again and again to you in your life. This is not a one-time incident. Loss will happen to you. Loss can happen to a businessman, loss can happen to anyone in the family, loss can happen to anybody in any form. So you have to know how to cope up with it. So there are many people. Let's take the example of children who are committing suicide, children who are being depressed when they are not getting good marks in board examinations. So we have to think about it. Is it the end of everything? Does this one moment signify or sum up your whole life? These are the questions I leave you with for today. And you think more about this poem. This is a very deep and a metaphorical poem, having very good meaning, and this again will help you to cope up in life. See, life is not a bed of roses. It is the ups and downs. Life has its ups and downs. You must have seen an ECG, right? The electrocardiogram, when the doctor, the ups and downs in the heartbeat. So what does a flat line indicate? The flat line indicates the patient is dead. So life is just like those ups and downs. So if everything is constant, that means there will be no joy, there will be no sorrow. Everything will be very boring, and you will not be learning anything. So the ups and downs, they makes us feel alive. These incidents makes us feel alive. This is the message that I leave you with. Have a great day, all of you. Happy learning, and don't forget to download this lesson from in PDF from the net, and just read the poem and figure out all the figures of speeches that we have dealt with. Thank you, everyone, and have happy learning.